Because the shaman chose to walk through the darkness, her shadow stepped forward, and she said, "We are now equals. We are now friends. Because you chose to walk through the darkness, because you chose to see me in the light, because you chose to face your demons and stand true to yourself, we are now friends. We are now equals." And as she linked her arm with her shadow, and she linked her arm with her light side, they both said, "You see how you balance us? You are the balancer. You are the one that keeps us in balance. No one can make you darker or send you darkness, and no one can dim your light or brighten it either. Only you can. You balance us, and you keep us in balance by choosing to heal and go through the darkness and see the darkness within and become friends with her. You bring the shadow to balance by choosing to stand in the light and see the light, but not always staying in the light, always positive, always thinking that you always have to be good, knowing that there has to be a balance. You keep the balance between the two. Just recently, I did shadow work for myself, and it was very deep and it was very strong, and there was so much that was going on within that I didn't even realize it was keeping me from moving forward. It was holding me in this constant state of fear, of the unknown, of fear of what if, of the fear of going forward. I love shadow healing. It's one of my favorite sessions that I get to do with you guys. And I also do shadow healing on myself. And in this case, when I was doing the shadow work on myself, I was doing the shadow healing for myself. I allowed myself to unravel completely. I allowed everything to come forward until I was faced with the ultimate truth. And I literally saw myself looking back at myself in a mirror. And I asked, and I said, "Is it because I did this?" And they said, "Uh-huh. So nobody else did this?" And they said, "Uh-uh. Nobody else did it. I did it." And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we make those decisions. We make those choices. We go forward with everything that we're doing. And then when it comes time for us to do the shadow work, we have to see ourselves in the mirror. Doesn't mean that we always are the ones that are, you know, constantly, we're not always in the bad. We're not always, you know, the victim or the perpetrator or the rescuer. It doesn't mean that we're always that person. In that moment, I was just seeing my part that I played and everything that brought me to here in this moment. And that's the beauty in it all, because I had to face myself. I had to face myself 100%. So in this shadow work, in this shadow healing, I unraveled everything, and I kept unraveling and spiraling and just going completely out of control in my shadow and walking in her until I found her. And it was really cool because at the very end, she stood beside me and she said, "I've always been your friend. I've always been there for you. You just had to decide. You had to make the choice to step forward, choose yourself, go for yourself, and have confidence in yourself." A lot of you guys know that a lot of things happened to me in the last couple of years, and it really hurt my confidence. It truly and completely hurt my confidence. And I knew that there was something that I wanted to do with my life. I knew that I wanted to go somewhere, I wanted to do something, and a lot of it I was afraid to do. You know, I was afraid to make this choice. There's something very big in particular that I really want to do, but I was afraid to make that official choice because for once in my life, it was going to be mine. For once in my life, I was the one that was going to make that choice. nobody else. So in making that choice, in making that decision for myself, I am stepping outside of my box. I am taking complete and total control of myself, and I am trusting that everything is going to work out. I am trusting that I am on the path that I am supposed to be on, and it is the scariest thing in the entire world. And I am trusting that I am not going to make the same mistakes that I did before. Do you hear that? I am trusting. There's a lot of trust in that. This is where shadow work becomes super important. We, as healers, I don't know any healer out there that hasn't done some form of shadow work. Shadow work is super important in your healing process, because in your shadow you cannot hide. In my shadow, as I was unraveling and I was taking every single thing out and I was seeing things for what they really were, I wasn't allowed to hide. I had to see the truth in what I had created, where I was, what had happened. I had to go to a past life. I had to see some strong, heavy energy on me. I had to clear out any imprints that this contract that was created within my shadow was attached to. All of these things I did within my shadow. And now my shadow can be balanced with my light as I integrate it within me. When we can integrate our shadow within, we can begin to do the true work. We can begin to listen to our intuition. Point in fact, I just had a session with a client, absolutely stinking amazing and wonderful. And this client needed it, because they had such a strong attachment on them. If I hadn't done this shadow work beforehand, if I hadn't gone in and seen my own attachments, seen what I had also created, seen the things that, I had gone through in life, the contracts that were created, the imprints, the darkness, if I had not done that, I would not have been able to meet with this client, because I, for one, would have been afraid, would have just been working on the surface level instead of going deep within, going deep, all the way in till I could find the seed that was planted in my client and rip it out along with this ugly attachment. This attachment was very ugly and very scary and very old and very ancient, and I was able to throw them into the fire and destroy them. But at the same time, the coolest thing happened. I was met by archangels from every direction as they helped bring light to the memory that we were also working on for this client. I don't think that if I hadn't done the shadow work that I did, that I wouldn't have been able to hold the space that I did today for my client. That wouldn't have happened. This is why shadow work is so important. It removed that energy within, I see it in my clients all the time when they do the shadow healing sessions. It removes that energy within. It takes that energy out so that new positive energy can come in, so you have more space. So if you are a healer, you can hold the space for your clients. So if you are a reader, you can read deep within and not just the surface level or the projections of what's going on in their life or a projection of what's going on in your life, because you have to be careful there. All of these things that I went through have been wonderful lessons that are bringing me to where I'm supposed to be. All the things that I saw as mistakes were lessons that I needed to have, because I was going down a path that could have destroyed me. 100%. I was in the wrong group of people. I was hanging around with the wrong people that could have eventually, I could have just lived life, not been a healer anymore, not be here talking to you guys. you know, whatever. I know that my purpose here on this earth is to help people, whether it be through my words, through my sessions, through teachings, whatever it is. I know that I'm supposed to help people. But to do that, I have to do the deep, deep healing and the shadow work. So you know those moments where you just feel like you want to spiral out of control and you can't figure out why? Well, do it. Find time to do it. Find the space where you can go and you can spiral out of control and you can allow yourself to feel every single thing that comes up, every little part of you, until you feel like an empty vessel, and then empty it out so that you can fill it up. What happens when you empty out a glass? You know, if I were to take my jug right here and I was to empty it, I would fill it back up with water, right? I'd have to fill him back up with water. But because he is full, can you hear that? Because he is full, I can't fill him up with water. He has water in him already. But what if this water was contaminated? What if the water in here was contaminated? What if it had something in it that was bad for me? And I'm just sitting here and I'm drinking it. And I'm drinking it over and over and over and over again. And I'm filling my body back up with that, whatever it is that is in this water. You know? Instead, I could just pour it out, empty it out, and fill it up with filtered water, something better for me, so that when I'm drinking, I'm replenishing my soul, I'm replenishing myself, I'm replenishing my body. You know, my shamanic teacher said something, and I love this. It is that we have to first work on the physical before we can work on the emotional. When I was teaching the medicine wheel, I think I started my students with the emotional. And I think now we're starting with the physical. Because in the South, it is a lot of emotional stuff that does happen. In the West, it is a lot of physical stuff that happens. But we're working on that DNA within yourself. You're working on the parts of you that were created when you were born, that were passed from your parents, from their parents, from their parents, all the way down until it comes into you. That's what you're working on. You know, when people ask, well, when do I get to do ancestral work? You're doing ancestral work every day. By choosing to show up and heal, you are doing the work every single day. Yes, you can still do an ancestral healing session. Yes, you can still do that. That is completely fine. But you are choosing to do the ancestral healing by showing up and doing the work every single day. Now, for those of you guys that are listening, you're like, ooh, I'm so geared up. I'm so ready to work on my shadow work. And then you go to do it and you're like, I don't really feel it right now. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I had a mentor one time that used to tell me, well, that's because something's attacking you. Not always true. That's not always true. It could just be that your body needs rest. So allow your body to rest. I allowed my body to rest this weekend, and in doing so, some memories came up, and some thoughts, and some anger, and some pain, and just like hurt, feelings of being hurt by people that I thought were my friends, like allowing myself to feel hurt by them. Those feelings came up, and it made more sense when I did my shadow work why those feelings came up. Because I allowed those feelings to come up. I allowed myself to have that space and that time to allow the feelings to come up. I then had the energy and the space to go do the shadow work. Because that was already cleared out. That part was cleared out. That was just a little teeny tiny piece that was in my shadow that could have taken hours to heal, or I could just let it happen in a couple minutes and I could heal it so that I could move into the actual shadow work. So it's okay if you feel tired. Allow yourself to feel tired. Go ahead and feel tired for a couple minutes. And then go do the shadow work. And shadow work doesn't have to be rituals. You can literally lay on the ground, allow yourself to go in and do the healing work. You could write it down on a piece of paper. There are many different forms of shadow work, you guys. What I do is shadow healing because I work on your auric field. And I love it so much. Now, how does this have to do with your intuition? Well, When we clear out our shadow work, it clears out our intuition. It clears space so that our intuition can see clearer. So we're using each and every single one of our chakras to tap into our intuition. Each chakra has something to do with your intuition. Each chakra, your throat can speak, it can communicate, your third eye can see, your crown can connect to your higher self, so it connects to source, to universe, guides, archangels, you know. Your solar plexus is your confidence, that's your yellow, that's your aunt, that's a huge, crucial part in your intuition. And your sacral, that's your gut feeling. That's that gut feeling of, yes, this is a great idea, or no, this is a bad idea. And then your root chakra, it keeps you rooted and grounded and connected to Mother Earth. And when we're connected to Mother Earth, we're listening, we're paying attention, we're walking softly on the earth. And we're doing the things that we're supposed to do. So the shadow work helps to clear each of those chakras out, so there's more room for you to connect to your own intuition and your gifts. Your unique gift. What is your gift? What is it? You know? My gift is shadow healing. It's going and finding the seeds within people and taking those seeds out and planting new seeds. My gift is literally walking around people's shadows and seeing their shadows. I can see your shadow on the outside of your body. I can see your shadow on the outside of your body. So I can see if it's too heavy and if it needs work, or if it's good and it's light. It's kind of like your aura. What I thought was people's aura turning dark, it's actually their shadow full of heavy, dense energy that needed work, that needed you to go in and start working on it. So that's a part of my gifts, is I can see your shadow on the outside of your body, not on the inside of your body. Of course, I can go in and we go into your body also and do the shadow work. But as you're doing that, I'm also working on the auric field and clearing that shadow that's on the outside of your body. Right? I know somebody, who can read auras. That's their gift. Somebody who can read charts. Birth charts. They can tell you that birth chart just like that. That's their gift. So what's your gift? Well, when you do your shadow work, your gift is going to come out. It's going to show you. I've always been able to see spirits. Since I was a little kid, I could see spirits. And I never truly believed that I could see people's loved ones until recently. I never truly believed that what I was doing was actually helping people until recently, when I realized it is helping people. So that shadow work is going to help you to connect to your intuition, to become one with your intuition, and to find your own unique gift within yourself. I honestly, strongly, and truly believe that everybody has a gift. Everybody is gifted. There's not one person out there that does not have some form of a gift. Whether you be a shaman, a Reiki practitioner, a psychic medium, a healer, a Buddha, whatever. You can read birth charts, you can read tarot cards, you can read oracle cards, which we are going to pull some oracle cards here soon. Whatever your gift is, I truly believe that everybody out there in this world has a gift. It's just trying to find your own authentic way of using your gift. Everybody has an authentic way of using their gifts. Everybody has an authentic gift. One of mine is shadow healing. The way that I see spirits is authentic. It's different, It's not just seeing them right here. Sometimes I have to close my eyes to go in and see them. Sometimes I can see them as if they're sitting right next to me. It just depends on what state I'm in also. Whether I'm zoned completely out and I'm not paying attention, they're going to pop right in and they're going to sit right there. But if I am completely aware of my surroundings and I'm completely in my body and fully paying attention, I'm not going to see that my grandpa's sitting right next to me. Like, hey girl. Actually, he would never say hey girl. But, I'm not going to see those things because I'm not paying attention. But when I came home after my grandpa passed away, I saw him on my couch. He was sitting there waiting for me, and he said goodbye. along with some other things. But again, the shadow work is what helped it. So why do your healers push shadow work? Why do the shamans push shadow work? Why do spiritual coaches push shadow work? Because they know how important it is. Because the one person you cannot lie to is yourself. And when you can balance those things and you learn that you are the balancer, you are the person in between the light and the dark, you are the one who balances the light and the dark. You call your power back to you. You get stronger. You are more powerful. You just called your power back to you just by doing that. They know how important it is because they have called their power back to them. Their power resides inside of them. And your power is super important to you in that sacred dream that you are creating, in the bigger scheme of things. That sacred dream is something that is so much bigger than yourself. And we all have a piece of it within of us. We all have it. And the shamans are the protectors of the sacred dreams. They are the luminous warriors and the creators of this sacred dream. But who's to say that you can't connect to that? Who's to say that you cannot connect to your sacred dream, to your purpose? And by doing the shadow work and the healing, you are opening up that space for that. So let's talk about the archangels that came through. So I had Archangel Waskar, who's the keeper of the spirit realm, or the lost souls, not the spirit realm, I'm sorry. The lost souls. So he is the lower realm. Whenever you're getting a soul retrieval, your shaman is going to go down into the lower realms and retrieve that soul piece that is healed and ready to come back. Archangel Waskar is the one who guards that realm. Archangel Michael came through. Archangel Raphael, and another archangel. I've not really ever worked with archangels. My shamanic teacher, she works with archangels a lot. This is a new archangel, and when she came forward, she was the archangels of the shamans. She was the keeper of the shamans, the wisdom of the shamans, the love of the shamans. She was all of this intertwined into herself. I still don't know her name. I'm working on that. But I think it's absolutely amazing and absolutely wonderful and absolutely beautiful that she came through in this session, because my client needed this. So as they each surrounded and we put this healing into this memory, she came forward too. And she said, I am always here to help the shamans. I am the archangel of the shamans. How cool is that? These are the cool things you get to do too when you heal your shadow. I'm just saying. So go heal your shadow. You're like, Bree, it's so easy. You say go heal your shadow and you think it's so easy. It's not easy. I get it. And sometimes your shadow is going to throw up mirrors and projections because you're spewing that stuff out. Last year about this time, I started doing shadow work again. My shadow was so heavy and so dense that it had some strong, heavy energy in it. And so it was projecting out, and it was causing a conflict between this other person in my life at the time. And, you know, this person was just seeing what was being projected out, the ugliness that was being projected out, the healing that I was doing within, it was being projected out. And mainly it's because my body had held it for so long that it was trying to get it out, and so it was showing up in this projection and this triggering for this other person and a mirror for this other person. But I was also being a mirror for this person. Now, if somebody comes to me and says something like that, I'd be like, oh, I'm being a mirror for you. Or how are you being a mirror for me? What do I need to work on? What do you need to work on? Maybe it's not just all about me. Just saying. But again, that's the beauty in the shadow. I love shadow work. I really and truly do. I don't think there is a period in my life where I have not done some form of shadow work on my healing journey. because it is super important. It is super, super important to do. It is the part that really and truly does take you deep, 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 deep down within yourself, so that you have to face the truth, so that you have to start to let go of those things. Because if we hold on to those things and we keep carrying them around, we're going to keep going in the same circle, and the same lessons, and the same projections, and the same triggerings, and the same life, over and over and over again. So if you're ready for that shadow work, just say ready. Just say, okay, my guides, I'm ready, let's do this. And they will show you how to do it. They will show you some form of a way to do it. They will send you to a healer, they'll send you to me, they'll send you to another shaman. They will find which healing way for you that works for you. They will figure it out for you, and they will put you on that path, and they will show you. But yes, shadow work is important. It is highly, highly important in our line of work. So, without further ado, now that we've met our new archangel of the shamans, I love that, and we've talked about shadow work, let's pull a couple cards. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what we can get, what's happening. The Divine Matrix. Ooh, the Galactic Mushroom. This card is literally asking you to go with it. So when you do those kind of journey works where you take certain plant medicines, that's the word I'm looking for, they help you to unlock within. So they literally help to break down the barriers, the walls that keep you from like seeing, believing, you know, trusting in the universe, all that stuff. They literally put you into your spiritual self. So by pulling this card, it is literally asking you to go within. It's saying now is the time. Now is the time. Trust in yourself. You have the gift. You have the ability to do it. You don't need helpers. You don't have to go and get plant medicine help. You can do it on your own, because you are strong enough. You are worthy enough. You are powerful enough that you can do it on your own, 100% on your own. I love it. So, let's see what else we got. We have Eyes of the Eagle rising above the fray. So, literally seeing things from a higher perspective. What does the eagle do? He sees things from the higher perspective, but the other thing the eagle does is he soars. So by doing the shadow work, by doing the healing work, by finally choosing to let things go, you are going to learn to soar. Because you have no attachments to the mundane world. You have no attachments to material things. You have no attachments to the past. You have no back doors holding you down. You have nothing keeping you back. So you are going to literally spread your wings, and you are going to soar like the eagle. And then I like this one. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. Sometimes we have to get lost to be found again. Sometimes it's in that being lost that we find ourselves, and we don't even realize it. Sometimes when our compass is pointed in the wrong direction, it's actually going to eventually push us in the right direction, because sometimes we have to get lost to get found, to find ourselves, because we step into integrity. And what is integrity? It's being honest with yourself. It's being honest with others. It's not stealing from others, you know, people's powers, their gifts, their energy, you know. It's not saying things and not meaning them or having any truth behind them or being authentic. Integrity is being authentic. Integrity is being true to yourself. Integrity is not lying or stealing or cheating. Integrity is truth. So sometimes it's good to be the lost compass because it allows you to build the foundation for a stronger and better future. Let's see if we can just pull one more before we're done. See what else we have. The power of community. By doing the healing work, you are literally going to find your spiritual community. Because you are clearing up, you are learning to say no, you are learning to hold the healthy boundaries, not boundaries of nobody can get in, just the healthy boundaries. And that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But you are learning that we are all one. And in being one, you will find your spiritual family. So community is coming for you. It is happening. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. I am so glad and so happy to be here. I appreciate you guys so very, very much. If you're watching this YouTube video, if you've made it to the very end, if you can hit that like button and the subscribe down below, I would greatly appreciate it. Comment something about your own shadow work or your own healing journey for a chance to win a 30-minute reading with me. Yes. I'm going to start throwing in little prizes here and there, so little readings, little stuff. So go ahead and comment down below a part of your healing journey, your shadow work, something that could help somebody else, a story to share for a chance to get in on the 30-minute reading. And then, like I said, like and share, and I super appreciate this. Thank you guys. I love you, and I will see you guys in my next video / episode.